Oh, you know what? I met Charlie Chase.
I'd heard that.
Did you?
You guys were both vacationing? Was that
Yeah,
the deal?
we were at Universal on the VIP tour. And Charlie and his wife and kids,
Yeah, just
his
like
little
last
son
week, wasn't it?
David. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a week ago today. And I wanted to take my little boys, 5, and we that Back to the Future ride is amazing.
Is it really?
It is.
Haven't been on any
It
of that.
is to game park amusements what Jurassic Park is to puppet animation. You know, it's really a notch above everything else.
I have to go on that stuff. The last time I went on the Universal tour like 20 years ago, back when it was just, you rode on a tram through the park and that was it.
We have speed?
Oh, okay. In other words, shut up and get on, get on with it. Let me ask you first, right off the bat, how'd you get involved in this thing? I mean, it's a very short part, but the second you come on the screen, people start to laugh. I mean, it's great.
You know, I've witnessed that myself, and I think part of the reason I played a character on Saturday Night Live when Matthew Modine hosted. I played a character in a similar Mountie type hat, a drill instructor, who was very silly and stupid, and I think people recognize the image,
Yeah.
and then they realize it's a slightly different character. At least that's my theory. I'm not sure.
Was it for you essentially like doing one of your bits on Saturday Night Live?
Well, it was different because it was the filmmaking process, but the part that was similar was Mike coming to me and saying, "Hey, would you do this?" And of course, I wouldn't turn it down because it was well written. And I got to go to San Francisco for a few days and take a boat out to Alcatraz, and I'll do anything to get on a boat. I own 2 of them myself.
Was it something that Mike had written for you? Did you guys work on it together?
Mike wrote this scene.
Yeah.
Even though he's not the credited writer on the film, Mike did do a lot of the writing on it. And he wrote this scene specifically for me, and he tailor-made cameos for other actors in the film, like Charles Grodin and Stephen Wright and Michael Richards. Very funny moments and beats, in the movie, and I was just happy to be a part of it.
Well, the cameos, the things you're talking about, are some of the funniest things in the movie, I think, because you're going along, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, what's he doing in here?
Yeah, there's some great moments, and the comedy in this film, to Mike's credit, it just seems so fresh and original. It's Mike emerging in a persona away from Wayne and closer to himself, and he's proving, I think, that he can carry a movie in a more of a natural leading man kind of role.
He's taken some heat in the press lately. I was asking him about this. I read this Us magazine article before I came, and it's like he had to spend the whole article defending himself. You think he's getting kind of an unfair rap from people?
Yeah, I do. But that's natural, and he seems to be, I read that article also, and he's accepting that with poise, because I've known a lot of performers who have taken a rap because it's human nature, I think, and I don't blame the press for it, but it's human nature that when somebody takes off real fast, you want to take them down a notch or 2 if you can, and oftentimes it's not totally fair.
Let me ask you about working on Saturday Night Live. Is there a lot of pressure involved in that, having to come up with stuff every single week?
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of pressure and a tremendous amount of stress, and I feel like I've successfully adapted to that situation, and I sometimes gloss over the fact of how difficult it is in my own mind, and that's contributed to my longevity. I actually hold the record, Kevin Nealon and I hold the record for numbers of shows done, and we've done 133 episodes. And many people who came to the show, like Billy Crystal and Chris Guest and others, only could handle it for 1 season because it's very stressful, and it's almost impossible to do what we do. In fact, when Lorne Michaels created the show, he determined that the shortest amount of time it could take to produce a 90-minute live comedy show was 2 weeks, and then he just compressed the schedule in half. And so I feel like we have an excuse when we do a bad show, and when we do a great show, I think we're working miracles.
It must be a great feeling when you get through and it has been a good one.
It's the best.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about this too, because you'll end up on, and I've already been on all the talk shows. You're going to end up on them again. That whole deal is changing this fall, you know, with Letterman moving over and Conan O'Brien, who I guess you guys have worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handicap the big talk show wars, or can you?
Well, it's difficult for me to approach it from a competitive point of view, because I've been on Arsenio, I've been on Jay's show, I've worked with Dave many times, and I know Conan O'Brien, and I like them all, and I would like for them all to succeed. And the truth is, I think the best of them already understand to the core of their being that all this talk show war business is completely antithetical to what they're trying to achieve on the air, and that's why to indulge in it is a little ridiculous, because it's all about having some fun with a television show, and that's what they all do well. And as for who wins and who emerges victorious, I think it's irrelevant. And for one thing, it's been proven that the ratings will shift and adjust, because sometimes people will tune in if a big star is on, no matter what channel it's on. You know, like I once did an advertising campaign for Pepsi, and they said people will buy whatever cola's on sale. You know, and
Yeah.
it's a similar kind of thing. So I hate to see it gravitate to name calling and real ratings wars. It just doesn't seem to be what it's about, really.
Yeah. She's wrapping me up. You want to say hi to Charlie on camera there now that you guys are pals?
Hey, Charlie, I just want your audience to know that on the Back to the Future ride, you were cool as a cucumber. I couldn't believe it. I was screaming, looking over at you, and you were just going, oh, this is wonderful.
Okay, thanks.